we're basically running two dairy units, sort of side by side. There's 191 hectares in this one, and 181 effective, and another 100 hectare dairy unit just around the corner, which is probably 90 effective. We're milking around 900 cows at the moment, and going up this year. We've just added a bit more land to it. Dad's grandfather come out from Ireland in the 1800s, late 1800s.
Wow.
And they started farming around here in the 1880s, I think.
How's the workload shared between you?
It's pretty much that Aaron oversees the milking side of it, and I oversee the machinery side of it. It's pretty much how the charge of all the cropping and fertiliser and stuff like that. And,
So you have all the fun then?
I don't know whether I call it fun. I'm still out there at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah.
He's knocked off at 5, so...
So do you physically have to do the milking then?
No. Like we milk just relief stuff and that, but I would sooner be in the shed now than out doing some of the other stuff, really. I'd sooner send staff out doing that, but it's not always the way it works, so...
Basically the soil type here is we've got from Sahakia silt loam, and that's about 6 inches of topsoil, and then goes into a heavy clay with pit metal underneath it. Some places the pit metal is only 2 foot under the surface, and then that's at one end of the farm, and it heads into peat down the bottom end of the farm. About 30 hectares of what we call peat stuff, which holds on in the summertime, which is quite good. It's like blotting paper, it sucks up the water, so it'll, if you're trying to cultivate it, a little shower of rain could put you off for 2 or 3 days. Other than that, it gets real sticky easily.
No, like with the peat, as long as it's all bounded by creeks, and as long as it gets a couple of floods over it over spring, which it normally does, it sort of fills it up for the summer and it holds on right through. So, like our peaty stuff down the back this year in the drought hung on really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the production figures? Tell me about how well you're doing
On this farm here, we're doing about 430 a cow, and about 1250 a hectare, with probably about 600 kilos of maize silage put in, and grass silage, which is cut off the platform. I guess we're trying to utilise the grass a bit better. Is our main aim at the moment, to try and cut our costs. We can grow grass cheaper than we can buy in supplements. So
Absolutely.
Fertiliser, we just soil test every year to find out what the soil actually needs, rather than just trying to do it off production. It seems to be like 2 years ago, the P level was quite high, so we pretty much tried to drop them down a little bit. Peat needs not a lot, it's pretty fertile soil, and looks after itself just about.
we definitely need to get into the shelter thing, because with the prevailing winds here, like we're really hammered being so close to the coast. And it was while we're about to start on the boundaries, I think, with planting shelter belts.
Yeah.
We've got a feed pad that holds 400 cows, and last winter when it was as wet as anything, the cows were only on the paddocks for probably an hour or 2 a day, and they'd go and have a feed there, a supplement, and then off. We've got standoff pads as well, sawdust pads, which we use in the winter a lot if it's wet, so just to try and reduce the damage to the pastures, really.
Yeah, it's basically just grow for the crops. That's just through pasture renewal program. We do about 10% of the farm 10 to 12% of the farm each year. And it's just a green feed turnips and green feed maize, which you find holds on a little bit longer than what the turnips do. Once we get into February, when it gets dry, it's quite time consuming to feed it out and that, but this year it was about the only green thing the cows are actually seeing in their day.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had any decent rain from sort of start of November really, through till now.
Really?
So we've had a green tinge most of the time, but there's been nothing there. So I guess we're pretty, we sort of always get a bit dry here, so we sort of plan for it really. With the business, we have a meeting every Monday morning with the staff to start with, and then the staff will go, and then we'll talk about any business issues that we've got to deal with, or that anyone, if anyone's got any grievances, they'll best be brought up there, because communication is, the failing of probably 90% of businesses really.
With all this work you're doing, how's your lifestyle?
Yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, lifestyle's pretty good. Quite enjoy water skiing and stuff like that. Days when we're out here when it's nice and still, we think about water skiing, so it's probably...
And where do you do this?
Down the river, Manawatu River. mainly.
Nice and flat there.
Yeah,
Not so
Yeah.
clean.
yes.
So you're a bit of a slalomer, are you?
Yeah, no, we think we are anyway, so give it a go.
So do you think that young people can get into farming if it's not a family business? You know, like
Yeah, bloody oath. You've got the right attitude. Where there's a will, there's a way.